I bought my 2012 Ram 1500 with 47,000 miles on it. 7 years later, it just crossed 312,000 miles. No transmission rebuild, no engine replacement, no major repairs over $400. And here's what shocks people the most. It still runs like it has 100,000 on it. Strong acceleration, smooth shifts, no rattles, no leaks. The secret isn't luck. It's not special treatment. It's following a specific maintenance schedule that Ram engineers designed, but dealerships conveniently forget to mention because they make more money on repairs than prevention. In the next minutes, I'm going to give you the exact schedule I followed, the specific intervals that matter, and the 3 maintenance items that 90% of Ram owners skip, which is why most trucks need major work before $200,000. If you want your Ram to outlast your truck payment by a decade, keep watching. This could save you $8,000 to $15,000 in repairs over the life of your truck. The transmission, your $4,500 weak point. Let's start with the most expensive failure on any Ram, the transmission. A rebuilt 8-speed or 6-speed automatic costs between $3,500 and $5,000 installed. Here's how you avoid it. Ram officially says transmission fluid is lifetime on many models. That's marketing, not engineering. Lifetime means the warranty period, not the actual life of your truck. The fluid breaks down. Heat, friction, and contamination destroy the additives that protect your transmission's clutch packs and valve body. Here's the real schedule. Change your transmission fluid and filter every 60,000 miles. Not 100,000. Not when it looks dirty. Every 60,000 miles, no exceptions. If you tow regularly, meaning more than twice a month, cut that to 45,000 miles. If you tow heavy loads over 7,000 pounds, do it every 30,000 miles. Use only ATF plus 4 transmission fluid for Rams 2013 and older, or ZF 8-speed fluid for 2014 and newer models with the 8-speed automatic. Do not let a quick lube shop talk you into universal fluid. It will destroy your transmission within 50,000 miles. This isn't an exaggeration. I've seen it happen to 3 trucks in my area. The service costs between $180 and $250 at an independent shop. Dealerships charge $300 to $400. Over 300,000 miles, you'll do this 5 times. That's $900 to $1,000, $250 total to protect a $4,500 component. The math is simple. One more critical point. If you have the 68 RFE transmission in 2,500 or 3,500 models, add an auxiliary transmission cooler if you tow anything. The factory cooler is undersized. Transmission temps over 220 degrees destroy fluid in half the normal time. An aftermarket cooler costs $300 installed and can double your transmission life. Differential service. The maintenance. Everyone forgets. Your Ram has either 1 differential in 2 WD models or 2 in 4 WD models. These are filled with gear oil that lubricates the ring and pinion gears that turn your wheels. When this fluid breaks down, the gears wear, the bearings fail, and you're looking at $1,800 to $2,500 per differential to rebuild. Factory schedule says 50,000 miles. Real-world schedule based on how these trucks are actually used. Every 30,000 miles for the rear differential, every 40,000 miles for the front if you have 4 WD. Why the difference? Your rear differential works constantly. Your front only engages in 4-wheel drive, so it sees less wear. If you never use 4-wheel drive, you can stretch the front to 60,000 miles, but I wouldn't go longer. The service is simple. Drain the old fluid, refill with fresh 75W90 gear oil, reinstall the fill plug. For the rear differential, use synthetic 75W90 with limited slip additive if you have a limited slip differential. Check your owner's manual or the tag on your differential cover. Most 1500s have limited slip in the rear. Cost is $80 to $120 per differential at a shop, or $35 in fluid if you do it yourself. It's a 20-minute job with basic tools. Over 300,000 miles, you'll service the rear differential 10 times, the front 7 times if you have 4WD. Total cost, $800 to $1,400 to protect components that cost $4,000 to replace. Here's the part that saves you money. If you tow or haul heavy loads regularly, add a differential cover with cooling fins. Companies like Mag High-Tech make them for $200 to $300. Lower gear oil temps mean longer fluid life and longer differential life. I added one at 80,000 miles. Best $250 I spent. Hence, spark plugs and ignition coils on Hemi engines. Factory schedule says 100,000 miles for spark plugs. Real world. Change them at 60,000 miles and again at 120,000 miles. Old spark plugs cause misfires that damage catalytic converters. A set of 16 spark plugs costs $80. A new catalytic converter costs $1,200 to $2,000. Do the math. Ignition coils fail on Hemi engines between 80,000 and 120,000 miles. Don't wait for them to fail. Replace all 16 coils at 100,000 miles as preventive maintenance. Cost is $200 to $300 for quality aftermarket coils. Doing this prevents the cascade failure where one bad coil damages others, and you end up replacing them one at a time for $400 total, plus diagnostic fees each time. Coolant flush every 100,000 miles using OAT coolant, which is orange or pink depending on your model year. Do not mix green coolant with OAT. It creates sludge that clogs your heater core and radiator. Flush costs $120 to $150. A new radiator costs $400 to $600. Air filter every 20,000 miles. Cabin filter every 15,000 miles. These are simple, but dirty air filters reduce power and fuel economy by 10% to 15%. Over 300,000 miles, that's thousands in wasted fuel. Suspension and steering. Preventing the $2,000 front-end job ram, front ends take abuse. Heavy engines, towing, potholes, all of it wears ball joints, tie rod ends, and control arm bushings. Here's how to make them last. Grease your front end every oil change if you have grease fittings. Many 2013 and newer Rams have sealed joints, but if you have fittings, use them. 5 pumps of grease per fitting. This takes 10 minutes and extends ball joint life from 80,000 miles to 150,000 miles. Inspect ball joints and tie rod ends every 30,000 miles. Grab the wheel at 12 and 6 o'clock and try to rock it. Any vertical movement means ball joints are worn. Check tie rods by moving the wheel side to side with the truck off. Any play means they're due for replacement. Replace ball joints before they fail. A failed ball joint means a tow truck and potential accident. Upper ball joints typically fail first on Rams, around 100,000 to 120,000 miles. Replace uppers and lowers at the same time. Cost is $600 to $800 for parts and labor. Waiting until failure often damages other components and doubles the repair cost. Shocks and struts. Replace at 80,000 to 100,000 miles, even if they seem fine. Worn shocks don't just hurt ride quality. They cause uneven tire wear, increase stopping distances, and put extra stress on ball joints and tie rods. A set of quality shocks costs $400 to $600 installed. They protect $2,000 worth of front-end components. Alignment every 20,000 miles or whenever you replace suspension parts. Proper alignment prevents tire wear that costs you $800 every 40,000 miles instead of every 60,000 miles. An alignment costs $80 to $120. It pays for itself in tire life. Rust prevention, making your frame. Last. This is the section that northern drivers need to hear. Road salt destroys frames, brake lines, and fuel lines. A rusty frame means your truck is done, regardless of engine condition. Here's how to prevent it. Wash the undercarriage every 2 weeks during winter months when salt is on the roads. Not the body. The undercarriage. Use a pressure washer or quarter car wash with undercarriage spray. This removes salt before it bonds to metal. Apply fluid film or wool wax to the entire undercarriage once per year, in late fall before winter. This is an oil-based coating that displaces moisture and prevents rust. You can do it yourself with $60 worth of product in a pump sprayer, or pay a shop $150 to $200. I do mine every October. At 312,000 miles, my frame has surface rust only. No rot, no holes. Spray inside the frame rails, inside the doors, inside the rocker panels. These are where rust starts and where you can't see it until it's too late. Drill small access holes if needed and spray inside. This single step has kept my truck road legal in a state that inspects for frame rust. Check brake lines and fuel lines every oil change. These run along the frame and rust through, causing leaks. Replacement is $300 to $800 depending on which lines fail. If you see surface rust on lines, coat them with the same rust prevention spray. That's it. Follow this schedule, use quality parts and fluids, and your Ram will outlast the frame. The total cost over 300,000 miles is roughly $8,000 to $10,000 in scheduled maintenance. The cost of skipping this schedule is $15,000 to $25,000 in major repairs, plus the headache of breakdowns and being without your truck. My Ram has 312,000 miles. I've spent $9,200 on maintenance over 7 years. I've spent $380 on repairs that weren't scheduled maintenance, a water pump, and an alternator. That's it. The truck runs strong, doesn't leak, doesn't smoke, and I'll drive it to 400,000 miles using the same schedule. Your Ram truck has 5 hidden settings that are slowly killing your engine, and Ram doesn't want you to know about them. I'm not talking about the obvious stuff you see on the main screen. I'm talking about buried settings deep in the Uconnect system that are designed to meet EPA regulations, not protect your engine. These settings cause excessive wear, carbon buildup, and transmission damage that shows up right after your warranty expires. Convenient, right? I've been a Ram technician for 12 years, and I've seen these exact settings cause thousands of dollars in repairs on trucks with under 100,000 miles. The worst part? Turning them off takes less than 3 minutes and requires 0 tools. By the end of this video, you'll know exactly which settings to disable and why Ram buried them 6 menus deep. Let's get started before your engine does. Setting number 1. Auto Start-Stop System. The Auto Start-Stop System is the biggest engine killer Ram ever installed, and it's destroying your starter, battery, and engine mounts right now. Every time you stop at a red light, this system shuts off your engine completely. Sounds eco-friendly, right? Here's what Ram doesn't tell you. Your engine is designed to start maybe 50,000 times in its entire life. Auto Start-Stop forces 10 to 15 restarts every single day. Do the math. You're burning through your engine's start cycles in a fraction of the time it was designed for. But it gets worse. When the engine shuts off, oil drains down from the top of the engine. When it restarts 3 seconds later, there's a brief moment of metal-on-metal contact with minimal lubrication. That's exactly when the most wear happens. Multiply that by 10 times per trip, twice a day, 365 days a year. Your engine internals are being sandpapered down every time you drive. Here's how to kill this setting permanently. On your Uconnect screen, press the settings icon at the bottom. It looks like a gear. Scroll down and select Vehicle Settings. Now scroll all the way down past Safety, past Lights, past Everything Obvious. You're looking for Engine Management or Auto Stop. The exact name varies by year. For 2019 to 2024 models, it's labeled Engine Idle Management. Tap that. You'll see Auto Engine Idle Stop enabled. Toggle it to disabled. Done. Now here's the catch Ram doesn't mention. This setting resets to enabled every single time you turn off your truck. That's right. You have to disable it manually every time you start driving. Why? Because if it stayed off permanently, Ram couldn't claim the EPA fuel economy credits. So they make it inconvenient enough that most people give up and let it keep destroying their engine. Setting number 2, aggressive transmission shift points. Your Ram's transmission is programmed to shift aggressively early to maximize EPA fuel economy numbers, and it's killing your torque converter and clutch packs. The factory setting forces the transmission to upshift at the lowest possible RPM, sometimes as low as 1,200 RPM under light throttle. This is called lugging, and it's the fastest way to destroy a transmission. When you force a transmission to pull heavy loads at low RPM in high gear, the torque converter stays partially unlocked longer than it should. This generates excessive heat. Heat is what kills transmissions. Every time you accelerate from a stoplight and the truck shifts into 6th gear at 35 miles per hour, your transmission fluid is cooking. Over time, this breaks down the fluid, clogs the filter, and glazes the clutch packs. You'll start feeling harsh shifts, delayed engagement, and eventually complete failure. Ram buried the fix deep in the performance settings. On the Uconnect screen, go to Settings, then Vehicle, then Performance pages. You're looking for transmission settings or shift pattern. On 2019 and newer models, it's under powertrain. Tap that. You'll see shift pattern with 3 options: Eco, Normal, and Sport. Factory default is Eco. Change it to Normal minimum. Sport mode keeps RPMs too high and wastes fuel, but Eco mode is destroying your transmission. Normal is the sweet spot. Here's what this actually does. In normal mode, the transmission holds gears slightly longer before upshifting, keeping RPM between 1,800 and 2,200 during acceleration. That keeps the torque converter locked more often, reduces slippage, keeps temperatures down, and dramatically extends transmission life. You'll feel the difference immediately. Smoother shifts, better throttle response, and you're actually protecting a $4,000 transmission replacement. Setting number 3. Active grille shutters in Eco mode. Your Ram has motorized grille shutters behind the front bumper that close automatically to improve aerodynamics, and they're choking your engine. These shutters are designed to close at highway speeds to reduce wind resistance. Great idea in theory. In practice, they close too early, too often, and they block critical airflow to your radiator and intercooler. When those shutters close during hot weather, towing, or any heavy load situation, your engine temperature climbs. You might not notice it because it stays just below the warning zone, but sustained high temperatures between 220 and 235 degrees Fahrenheit cause accelerated wear on gaskets, seals, and head bolts. Over time, this leads to head gasket failures, warped heads, and coolant leaks. I've seen it hundreds of times on Rams with 80,000 to 120,000 miles. The fix is buried in climate and efficiency settings. Go to Settings, then Vehicle Settings, then scroll to Efficiency or Eco Settings depending on your model year. You're looking for active grille shutters or aero mode. Toggle this to disabled or manual. On some 2021 and newer models, you can't disable it completely, but you can set it to performance mode, which keeps the shutters open more often. Here's the real issue. Ram calibrates these shutters to close as often as possible because it gives them better EPA test numbers. Your real-world driving, especially if you tow, haul, or drive in temperatures above 85 degrees, doesn't match EPA test conditions. Keeping those shutters open ensures maximum airflow. Yes, you might lose half a mile per gallon on the highway. You'll also avoid a $3,000 head gasket job. Setting number 4, cylinder deactivation. Aggressive engagement. Ram's multi-displacement system, also called MDS or cylinder deactivation, shuts down 4 cylinders during light cruising to save fuel. Sounds smart. The problem is the factory calibration engages it way too aggressively, and it's causing catastrophic lifter and camshaft failures on 5.7 Hemi engines. Here's what happens. MDS works by deactivating the intake and exhaust valves on 4 cylinders. The lifters that control those valves collapse and stop moving. When MDS disengages, those lifters have to pump back up with oil pressure and start moving again. Factory settings engage and disengage MDS constantly, sometimes 30 to 40 times per trip. Every engagement cycle is a wear event. Over time, lifters start sticking, camshafts develop wear patterns, and you get the famous Hemi tick that turns into the Hemi grenade. The worst part? Ram knows about this. There are multiple technical service bulletins about MDS-related failures. Their solution? Replace the lifters under warranty, then let the new ones fail the same way. The actual fix is controlling when MDS activates. Go to Settings, Vehicle, Performance pages, and look for Cylinder Management or Eco Cylinder. You'll see MDS set to Eco or Maximum. Change it to Minimum or Disable if your model year allows it. On 2019 to 2023 models, Minimum is the only option besides Eco. Take it. This limits MDS engagement to highway cruising above 55 miles per hour with minimal throttle input. It won't engage during city driving, acceleration, or any load situation. You'll lose maybe 1 mile per gallon. You'll avoid a $4,500 lifter and camshaft replacement. Setting number 5, Thermal Management System, Eco Mode. Your Ram has an intelligent thermal management system that controls engine temperature based on driving conditions, and the Eco Mode setting is slowly destroying your pistons and rings. Modern engines don't run at a constant temperature anymore. They adjust temperature based on load to maximize efficiency. Eco Mode keeps the engine hotter than normal during light driving to reduce friction and improve fuel economy. Here's the problem. Higher operating temperatures mean thinner oil. Thinner oil means less protection. When you combine high temperatures with low-tension piston rings designed for efficiency, you get accelerated ring wear and increased oil consumption. I've seen 5.7 HEMIS burn a quart of oil every 1,500 miles because of this exact setting. Once the rings glaze over from running too hot with thin oil, the damage is permanent. The fix is in Advanced Vehicle Settings. Go to Settings, Vehicle, scroll all the way down past everything to Advanced or Engineering Settings. Some models require you to press and hold the Vehicle Settings title for 5 seconds to unlock Advanced Mode. Once you're in, look for Thermal Management or Engine Temperature Control. You'll see Eco Mode enabled. Disable it. On some trucks, you'll see Temperature Target with Eco, Normal, and Performance. Select Normal. This keeps your engine temperature in the traditional 195 to 210 degree range instead of the Eco Mode 210 to 225 range. That 15 degree difference is huge for oil film strength and ring seal longevity. Your oil will stay thicker where it needs to be thick, your rings will seal properly, and you won't be adding a quart of oil every other fill-up. If you own a Ram 1500, 2500, or 3500 with the 5.7 Hemi, or 6.4 Hemi from 2019 to 2024, go disable these 5 settings today. Write down the sequence because some of them reset. Check them every week until it becomes habit. If your truck is still under warranty, understand that Ram can't void your warranty for changing settings in their own menu system. That's not a modification, that's using features they provided. If your truck already has symptoms, high oil consumption, rough shifts, overheating while towing, these settings won't reverse damage that's already done, but they'll stop it from getting worse while you plan for repairs. One more thing. If you found this information valuable, leave a comment with your Ram model year and whether you've experienced any of these issues. That data helps other owners know what to expect. Subscribe because next week I'm revealing the 3 maintenance items Ram dealers skip during service that cause engine failure, and the 1 fluid they use that's actually destroying your transmission. You need to see that before your next oil change. Your Ram is a great truck. These settings are sabotaging it. Now you know how to fight back. Drive smart, protect your engine, and I'll see you in the next one.